Live from the Vilar Performing Arts Center in Beaver Creek, Colorado. This 530-seat state-of-the-art theater, operated by the Vail Valley Foundation, is located in the heart of the Rocky Mountains, just walking distance from the ski lifts, hiking trails, and golf fairways. Presenting a year-round calendar of in-person and virtual entertainment. Enjoy the show. Live from the Vilar Performing Arts Center in Beaver Creek. Just walking distance.
There we go. Hey, folks, how are we? Owen Hutchinson here, the Executive Director of the VPAC, and we are so psyched that you are in the house tonight for John Popper and Ben Wilson. What a show it was last night. These guys, they are playing through their entire catalog of music, and we feel so thankful to have this performance here this winter. This show is a part of the VPAC's Winter Artist Residency series. It's this incredible concept that we came up with to solve some of the unique challenges of this winter, which are obvious to us all. But this has allowed our artists to settle into Beaver Creek, to settle into the VPAC, to get to know our stage, our room, and you all here at a distance, but closely and and personally just the same. So thanks for being here for this. A couple of really exciting announcements. We've got Martin Sexton joining us here next weekend on the 20th and 21st of February. A longtime favorite of the Valley. He's played here at the VPAC a few times. Wonderful singer-songwriter with a great sense of humor and a very entertaining show. So we hope you'll return for that performance. And there are a few tickets left. I think some of you in the house might be attending this, but the infamous trio. This is the three of the players of the infamous String Dusters, Chris Pandolfi, Andy Hall, and Jeremy Garrett. They will be here as a trio right here live from the VPAC at the end of the month. We've also just introduced a new one, Chris Thiele. Any Chris Thiele fans in the house? Punch Brothers, incredible mandolin player. It's going to be spectacular in March. You can stream a number of these performances at fans.live. Hello to everyone out there in the virtual world tonight. We're streaming this performance on fans.live. We're excited to have that shared with the nation, with our friends way out there. A few important safety tips before we get going tonight. Please remain 4 seats apart from your neighbors. That's 4 seats right and left, and try to keep a row in between you vertically if possible. Take some caution when you're exiting and entering the theater. 6 feet at all times if possible, and please use our hand sanitizing stations. Just a quick reminder to keep your masks on throughout the performance unless you're enjoying your beverage. We'd prefer that everyone leave their masks on for this performance to keep everyone safe. We need to thank some very important people who are responsible for making these 50-person capacity performances possible, and these are our sponsors and our underwriters here at the VPAC. An incredible group of people, including our facility sponsors, Beaver Creek Resort Company, GMC, Beaver Creek Metro District, Arbor Jet, and U.S. Bank, as well as our series sponsor, Westward, our lodging partner, Beaver Creek Lodge, and our series underwriters, Alexia and Jerry Jershak. A round of applause for all these incredible people. They have really carried us through a unique season. I think it's time for some music. What do you all say? Please welcome to the stage 2 gentlemen from the band Blues Travelers, a favorite of, I'm sure, everyone here in the room, Mr. John Popper and Ben Wilson.
Ha-ha, it was me all along. So it's really great to see you guys, and 50 of you does fill the room. I don't know if that speaks to what you've been eating lately, but yes, you guys are filling it out nicely. Though you still look svelte. Too late for that. That follow-up was kind of weak. Mr. Ben Wilson on the keyboards, by the way.
Thank you for this. COVID sucks. This is awesome. First gigs in a year. Oh, my goodness. Last night felt so good.
Yeah, it really did. We had a ball playing last night, and it is fun singing in the altitudes. Makes you a little surreal. So, you know, I drank a drink right before I came out here to try and steer into the skid, like that sort of sick feeling was my idea, not the mountain doing it. Asshole mountain, why is it so high up in the air? You know, as long as we're on the subject, and this leads me, you know, this is kind of a nice intro into the first song. What the hell are you people thinking up here? You know, like, I said this yesterday, and it's true. Like, we've got this lovely place, like about 5 miles south. It's called Earth. And if you come down out of the mountains, there's oxygen and everything. It's really, yeah, I know. You want to throw yourself off of a mountain on some skis or some board, and you can't stop it. I know I love too many skiers and snowboarders to argue this point. I've argued it for many years. Like, you go down the hill to the ski lodge, why don't you just stay at the ski lodge? It's where you're headed. But no, it's the journey, right? But the journey has killed Sonny Bono, okay? Yeah, I said it. Yes. I know, it was tragic. And so many other people who are not Sonny Bono have thrown themselves off of mountains only to be squashed. So why? Why, I implore you? I'll never be able to talk any sense into you. You're just going to throw yourselves off the mountains. And that leads us to our first song. This was written by Brooklyn Bob Sheehan. And this was someone he loved very dearly. And he knew that she could not stop snowboarding. And ultimately, he had to acknowledge defeat to the mountains. And that's really what this song is about. Well, yeah, I mean, you could say, oh, but when it's you and the girl you love will not stop snowboarding, eventually you kind of got to go, hey, what am I going to do? I don't have that kind of elevation. So this song is called Mountains Win Again.
I pick up my smile and put it in my pocket, hold it for a while. Try not to have to drop it, man, or not to cry. So how am I to stop it? Keep it all inside. Don't show how much you rock it. Can you feel the same? Yeah, you gotta love my pain. Yeah, and it looks like rain again. Yeah, feel it coming in. The mountains win again. Dreams we dreamed at night were never meant to come to life. I can't understand. She pulled away her hand this time in my life. I was hurt enough to care. I guess from now on I'll be careful what I say. Oh, can you feel the same? Yeah, you gotta love my pain. Yeah, and it looks like rain again. Yeah, I feel it coming in. The mountains win again. lonely way. Someday I may find the love again will blow my mind. Maybe it will be the love that got away from me. Is there a light to ride that can make you cry tonight? Can you feel that same? Yeah, you gotta love that pain. Yeah, and it looks like rain again. Yeah, feet are coming down, the mountains win again. Oh, the mountains win again. Win again.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. You crazy high altitude bastards. So, okay, what we did tonight, we've been doing it these 3 nights that we're here. We're going to take questions. Yeah, I know, that opens it up to a lot of dirty talk. I know that. I know the audience I'm dealing with, and, you know, your guys' minds is mostly in the gutter. It's all sex, sex, sex. But we picked the cleanest questions we could find. And we're going to start with this one here. Whitney Harper. Whitney, you can remain anonymous. It's okay. She's probably in the can. That's how my life works out. But she said, was there a person, teacher, mentor, etc., whose encouragement was most meaningful early on? And so to answer that question, you have to basically go back to early on, because there's been mentors and teachers all throughout, I think, each of our lives. And the early ones do tend to matter. You know, they're the most significant because it's the first time you get your brain blown open with knowledge and information. And I mean, certainly our first high school band teacher, Mr. Biancasino, you know, Tony B, we called him, and or Mr. B. And he passed away in 2004 or 5 or something like that. But I mean, for generations, he'd been there at Princeton High School, you know, where Chan, Brendan, and myself went to high school. And he set a standard for us to try and really do well and be good at what we do. And I mean, a lot of he was kind of insane, really. I mean, he would invent crazy inventions. He came up with this ice cream cone that would catch the extra drippage, and he went and got it patented. And ran for mayor of his hometown and used the high school band as like his campaign band. He lost horribly, you know. He came up with all these crazy. He wanted to be a rock star at one point. Like once we started being a band, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it too." And like, we went and recorded. He was like, you know, just a lovable nut. But he really showed you anything was possible. So I would put him up there. And then when we went to the new school, Arnie Lawrence was a very significant impact, and he was a great teacher. But there's always a teacher in there, at least once in a while, throughout your life that, I mean, probably every one of us has one or two or like maybe half a dozen who were just there at the right point when you were ready to throw that brick through the window. And they didn't tell you not to. They just sort of told you, well, maybe there's another way. And I think that's my favorite kind of teacher. Because, you know, it's easy to be an authoritarian, but, you know, kids like me, we love authority. We see it as a great challenge. You know, now that my daughter's in school, she's 5, she's getting really great. She got her first report card, and it went really well. And so I'm just trying to shut up while my ex-wife does the sort of school stuff, because she's good at school. And all I know about school is how to skip school or how to cause, like if you want to throw your class into chaos, I know exactly how to do that. If you want to undermine what the teacher's doing or their authority or their lesson plan, there's like 6, 7 strategies that I could just off the top of my head. And so I'm just shutting up. I'm like, but there will be a time, I'm thinking 8th grade, 9th grade, when suddenly I'll be her best friend. Sorry. Whenever we talk about school, I start laughing in an evil laugh. So this next song, the first time we heard it on the radio, it wasn't us. I'll tell you. This is back when touring in a band, we toured in a van, and I think we were two vans. There was it was like when the first Gulf War was happening, so we were in like the Love Scud and the Patriot. I think the Patriot was the band and the Love Scud was the crew. And these were two Dodge vans and we'd be driving. And I think at one point, one of the vans broke down, so all of us were in one van. And when you're touring in a van, you know the smell of your own bunk, like, you know, the bench of seats. And because it smelled like Bobby's always smelled like chocolate milk because he left old chocolate milk lying around, so it always stank to high heaven, and you knew that was his bunk. And, you know, Chan smelled like Chan, you know, like a lot of alcohol and bologna. And, you know, mine smelled like me, which is, I don't know, farts or something, you know, whatever I smelled like. And, but all we had to entertain us was AM, FM radio, and you know that. And like the AM radio is basically, you know, at that time of night when you're driving from your gig to the next gig, it's all like, you know, Jesus freaks and, you know, God's going to punish you with hellfire if you're not good, and, you know, stop masturbating, everybody. And the other thing was FM, which played classic rock, and we were driving at like 2 a.m. I think we were somewhere in Mississippi. Mississippi. And, well, you know, it was not the best night because we hit it. Well, no, that wasn't the night we hit a deer. This was the night we heard our song. And so we're driving along, and suddenly we start hearing, ding, 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 ding. Like, oh my God, that's our song, is it? And this is like surreal. This is that moment in like every movie with a band where they hear themselves on the radio, and we're high-fiving and freaking out, and it's like tunnel vision, it's like stardom, and we're on the radio. And here comes the hard part. And here comes the vocals, and it's Coors Light, drink it, it's Coors Light, drink it up, it's Coors Light. And it was like this weird other tunnel vision, because like you're so excited, and you realize it's a beer commercial, and they had taken our song, and it's, so like part for a second or two, because you want it to be true that that's you on the radio, you're thinking, maybe I did write this about beer. Yeah, remember? It's Coors Light, drink it, man. That's what the song's about. But no, it wasn't. And I'm happy to tell you that I can no longer finish this story. Yeah? See, that's American for lawsuit. Ka-ching. So I'm happy to report that I can't tell you what happened. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. All the Canadians are like, what's he talking about? But the Americans are like, yeah, I know what he means. Yeah, little thing we got in this country called the legal system. Sorry. The legal system in school gets me laughing evilly. But the result was this wonderful song that's really kind of was about nothing. Actually, that was sort of a great example of what the song was about, because it's just kind of a nonsensical little tome. And it goes exactly like this.
She didn't care, but anyway, I told her we'd still be friends, and she didn't care, but anyway, I tried last week for to call her, she wasn't home, but anyway, I think I'll spend my life alone, I really don't care right now, but anyway, it's a state of affairs instead of emotion, the kind of thing that you must understand. I tell you one thing, you tell me another, we walk away, maybe that's shaking. I'm cool with Dixie, got that smoking it bad for me, but anyway, I don't think the TV was joking when it told me this, but anyway, the newsman said not to sit on straight toilet seats, it's my life he's trying to save, but anyway, I found out that I got cancer too many television ways, but anyway, it's a state of affairs and a state of emotion. emotion, kind of thing that you must understand. I tell you one thing, you tell me another. We walk away, maybe that's shaking. Wilson.
Kevin Early, my bad. That was good. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Allison Mann. Yep, she's not here either. Wow, I think people wrote these and then ran out of the building.
What's up with the no-shows, John?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's not like there's a lot of seats left. But Allison Mann said, "Are there any musicians you have mentored?" I probably have, but it's hard to know because when you're on the other side of it, there are musicians you interact with. Like I've got so many musicians who've mentored me that they probably just thought they were just hanging out with me, but I secretly kept it to myself that they were my mentor, though I don't know how well I kept it to myself. So there are some people that I know that might look at me in sort of a instructor capacity, and if there are, then God help them. It's a lot less pressure when you feel like no one's listening to you. You get to say a lot more and mean a lot less. Sorry, feelings make me evil laugh along with school and politics. Moving on back to our set list, we're going to do a song that we haven't done in a friggin' long-ass time.
I know.
I don't even think there's a harp solo in this one, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm just that's my way of telling Ben that there isn't a harp solo because we haven't gone over this.
There's one chord I don't remember, so everybody close your ears at that time. Okay, please?
Oh, dear God. Clunk!
Yeah, that wasn't it.
All right, so this song was about, I was playing at the Brooklyn Bowl in Brooklyn. oddly. And this was the Dust Great Troubadours, and there was this really cute bartender. And it became clear after hanging out with her that her dad was a really big fan of mine, you know. And you know, she was really young. And talking about how she's going to go tour manage a band. She's talking about like the station wagon they've got ready to go. And I just know the kind of tour they're going to have. Like they're going to like be starving, and the car will smell like feet, and they will know each other's body odors intimately and want to murder each other and like sell the car and flee for their lives and run into the ocean and die. And like that's the first tour, you know? And like that's how you know you're in the business, when you feel that kind of stone cold miserable in the morning. Do something, like move to another place to sleep or something. And I was just really struck by the odd, you know, and she was generations behind me, but she was like looked at us as people who like went to Brooklyn. We lived in Brooklyn and we started our band there, and you know, she was looking at us as sort of alumni in this odd, you know, story of people who came to Brooklyn to make it. And I felt oddly, you know, familial. And this is really a song about, you know, kind of the passing from generation to generation of this thing that makes people get in their mom's stolen, you know, station wagons and drive their friends up Nova Scotia looking for gigs. Because believe me, there aren't going to be really good ones there, but you'll take you'll play Clam Shack on the way up and on the way back, because you need the gas money. And it goes a little like this. It's called When Carol Let the Moon. When Brooklyn breaks into Saturday, the club rats scurrying away and closing out and closing in. It's rare that something there begins. Promises like shining lights amidst the dawn of dying night. Through ringing amps and flattened beer, and all my cues for getting out of here. But Carol let the moon come in, and windowsills again have room. Carol let the moon come in, and for a time I'm high as noon. Carol let the moon come in, and I was sad our set was done. But Carol let the moon come in and passed upon the evening sun. Now I'm an old and broken, too many rides upon the wind that carries hawks across the sea to hunt and shiver for their sins. Too many dreams are left to stand until the tide can knock them down. But remembering I reach my hand in case a few are still around. And Carol let the moon come in, and for a time I'm high as noon. Carol let the moon come in and find ourselves again have a run. Carol let the moon come in, and I was sad I had to run. But Carol let the moon come in and passed upon the
evening sun. So pass the bottle, pack the bowl. Let's swap our tales of rock and roll. We have until the engine strums and the brave are sails for kingdom come. Can't let the moon come in and window sills again never run. Can't let the moon come in and for a time I'm high as noon. Can't let the moon come in and I profoundness had begun. But Carol, let the moon come in and passed upon the evening sun. Thank you. Ooh, that's a toughie. You got a dig on that one. Nice work. I didn't hear the bad note.
I remembered it just in time.
That's how you like it, when you remember just in time. Okay. Let's see. Mitch Pilette. There he is. Get him! I see they were too smart. All right, well, you know, we can have all of you carded. We can find this Mitch Pilette. You can't escape us. All right, well, he asked, what is your favorite story about being on the set of Kingpin? Also, we know Woody Harrelson can jump, but can he dance? Look, the amount of dancing I've seen Woody Harrelson do is minimal.
How much dancing have you done? Yes.
There you go. That was it.
That was it.
The sum total of my dancing. You've seen it all here. But I've seen Woody Harrelson do other things, but I can't go into that. But the best story about being on Kingpin was watching them bowl because Woody Harrelson and Bill Murray were trying to miss, and they couldn't miss. They kept getting strikes, and it was annoying the director. And they couldn't stop getting strikes. It was the craziest thing. And hanging out with Bill Murray in his dressing room, I was saying this story last night, he got an assistant. He was teaching her how to build a makeshift cooler out of a cardboard box and a plastic bag and ice, because he said he was going on a big drunk. It was the first time I ever heard, I'm going on a drunk as a term. And I don't, we were in the outskirts of Reno, basically, in the woods, or in the desert. And that's where the scene we did was. And, I did thumb wrestle Woody Harrelson and beat him, but I beat a lot of people thumb wrestling. I have this sick gift of thumb wrestling.
Aren't you undefeated?
I am. People occasionally come up and beat me, but not for long. I think I just want it more than everybody else is part of it. I beat Hulk Hogan, but he had just wrestled 5 guys, and I think he just kind of let me have it at the end, he just didn't want it at the end. And then I also beat Goldberg in the same night. I was at a WWE or wrestling thing, and Goldberg had just wrestled 5 people, and he came right out of the ring and thumb wrestled me, and I beat him fair and square because he's like, "Hey, I just wrestled 5 guys." I was like, "Nope, too late. You accepted the bout." That's the rules of thumb wrestling. Righty lefty. I can do it with my eyes closed. It's a messed up little party trick, but Woody went quietly. He didn't put up too much of a struggle. It's not like he had money on it. People have bet money on my thumb wrestling prowess, but somehow I never get cut in. I'm it's sort of like the story of boxing in the 19th century is how thumb wrestling is now. You just got to take your chances, and your thumb just gets tough and sort of dumb and ignorant, and your thumb, it's just kind of got weird cognitive disorders when it gets older. Yeah, I know.
It's kind of sad. Sucked this baby till I was 9 years old. My brothers paid me $5 not to. I was like 9. And so I had to go sneak them out behind the garage. And it was basically learning how to smoke. I learned how to smoke from my family trying to stop me from sucking my thumb. And thank God the harmonica was there, because now it's like a professional thumb that I suck for a living. It's just kind of came with it. But yeah, let me see if trying to pay me $5 to stop doing that, huh?
Yeah. I'll show you.
I'll show you. I'll come up with a whole thumb-sucking job. Occupation is what I meant to say, but in the altitudes, you're robbed of your finer vocabulary. Because you lunatics want to come up here and live and ski. I know. And snowboard, I understand. Is there a third thing to go down a mountain? I mean, tobogganing, of course.
I saw some dude on a skateboard on top of a ski today. Yeah? Snow skate.
Well, I've seen people go down the hills on crazy, like some guy was on a toilet, pretending to read a paper. People do all sorts of crazy things. That wasn't on purpose. That's just the house he was in gave way, and just that section of the house just went down the hill. It's where you flush your problems anyway, just all goes down the hill. No wonder Candace is so pissed at you. You're at the bottom of the, never mind. It was a gravity joke. Oh, we're doing this song. Well, this is, see, I don't know how many of you were here yesterday, so you got to hear the same damn story. But this is about a friend of mine who, I almost ran him over. I was in a cab when I started going to school in New York City. I'd lost touch with him for years. I'd known him since we were 5. And the cab almost ran him over. He lived in Chelsea, and I was like, Steve, and the cab drove away. And, I just thought it was funny. I later got in touch with him, but it really set this great scenario in my head that I thought was funny. Like, what if you hadn't seen your best friend for, 15 years, and then you ran him over in a cab, and you had the presence of mind. So this is the thing. You have to have the presence of mind to do this. As he lays dying, you jump out of the cab, and you go, Steve? And you just start speaking fake Chechnyan or something. Go, and you start robbing him. So as he dies, his entire image of you is completely blown. And he thinks, maybe this was a spy planted with me since I was 5 years old. What was he after? How important am I? How do I figure into this? And maybe he starts reassessing his importance in the world and starts thinking maybe the Chechen government wanted him out of the equation because he holds the key to some nuclear riddle he doesn't even understand. Because, that always happens. You're going through a store and someone puts a tape in your backpack, and before you know it, the CIA wants to kill you. And it was me, his best friend, who was coming for him and whacked him in that cab. I mean, I wasn't driving, but how would he know? Because if he'd seen me, he would have gotten out of the way of the cab. And so I'm thinking, it would have been terrible for his family and for my family and everybody who knew him. It would have been a horrible tragedy. And again, this didn't happen, and I wasn't driving. But it kind of would have at least been a little funny if it had happened because of that, which is sort of a good thing. You're trying to sort of make lemonade out of lemons. I mean, very, very tough, dry lemons, but you're squeezing for that little... on the plus side, it was really funny the way he went thinking I was a Chechnyan agent and doubting his entire existence. I mean, you can't do that for everyone, but if you are able to do that for your friends, I mean, it is a gift that shows you care. So that's not what this song's about, though, because again, no one was murdered and there was no cab hitting anybody. But this was about that time when I was hanging out with him and we started hanging out again, and he was very bummed out about stuff that happened in his past. And for me, the band was getting going, and I had to leave, and I couldn't stay with him through that. And so I kind of had to consciously go in the direction life was pulling me. And the upside is that he heard this song a few years later, and we got back in touch, and we're friends to this day. So it's kind of nice. Nobody had to get run over by a cab. But if a cab did run him over, you got to admit that would have been a little funny. The tiniest bit funny. Yeah, you find your humor where you can. So this is called Regarding Stephen.
asked your name, and I'm sure you know mine. I'd like to discuss our mutual friend. I can't help but feel that I left him behind. Does he still live with you, or did his pain ever end? I guess I don't deserve to know if he ever let go. I guess I don't really need to see if he wound up with you, or did he ever break free? When we were both young, it took us in and taught us the place to fight the game. He lost so much that you let him win. But I had a home, so we just wasn't the same. I had the strength to look you in the eye and say goodbye. I was lucky and I didn't have to play. Does he still live with you, or did he get away? I used what I had and I escaped. I smelled something good and I followed its track. But all he could smell was the world that you shaped. He took all my strength and I just couldn't look back. I remember him calling after me. I keep love memory. The last thing he screamed aloud was, "Hey, don't you leave me alone." Yeah, he might live with you, but he called me his home. Yeah, I guess your name, and someday, so I will. 'Cause one of these nights he's gonna break free. 'Cause one of these nights he's gonna break free. 'Cause one of these nights he's gonna break. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, Sandy LeBeau. Sandy. It's weird that her and Mitch Pilet are sitting together and they've written like half the questions. Everyone in Colorado thinks the Mountains Win Again is about their town. We know it's not Red Rocks. So please finally tell us the truth. What town is the Mountains about? Vale? Eh? Did I say Vale? I meant Aspen?
Or
Eagle? It's kind of an Aspen by way of Vale, Eagle.
Wait,
sort of,
maybe it was about Utah.
or it could be about it.
Yeah, what about Utah?
Yeah,
You guys are just dismissing Utah
what the
right out of
heck?
hand.
Or Idaho?
Idaho, Alaska. Yeah, see, there you go. That's a good one. Yeah, Ben.
Yeah. Keep it quiet over there, Wilson.
To tell you the truth, she probably, I told you the story at the beginning, she probably snowboarded all the towns.
From here to
You know, the
Tucumcari.
big towns, the little towns. The Snow-Ho, sure. Apache, that I played that one. That thing, like, your actual blood vessels start popping out of your body when you're up there. I mean, you guys have probably been up there because you're all the lunatic skiing element I've been talking about. Like at least wear a spacesuit or something when you're up this high. I don't know what to tell you. We've talked about this. I respect your decision. Damn crazy, but still. I might let you sit my kid, but no skiing. Until she's like 15 or 16. That's when I'm allowed to take her shooting. 16. Till then, guns are not toys. Neither are skis. Which one? Bombs? Well, she can drink whatever she wants, but again, that's going to probably be when she's older. Let's hope. But I mean, we all went to high school, so we know what that's like. Oh, wow, you guys never went to a high school where you drank? Wow. Serious Mormon stuff going on up here. Yeah. Ben, I didn't know there were so many Mormons in Colorado.
I mentioned Utah, but I don't know.
Yeah, no. Maybe it's like the Mennonites and the Amish where they secretly have a war that no one knows about. It's like the Colorado Mormons and the Utah Mormons. Do you guys have that? I don't know. Oh, okay, you don't have that. All right. I saw a TV show about the Amish Mafia, so if anything's possible. It just takes them a really long time to do a drive-by. And, they go clop along at 20 miles an hour. And they don't use the gun of the hand, so it's like a slingshot or a lathe. Yeah, they lathe them to death. Have you ever been lathed? It hurts. It hurts. Yeah. Well, there was a whole lathing thing. It wasn't with an Amish person. It was just with, like, a family member. But you don't want to be lathed. When they said we were going to be lathed when we went to Hawaii, I got very upset, and then I realized I wasn't hearing them properly. And then I was completely confused all over again when they said we were going to get laid. And, it's not fair. They should call it something else. You're going to be surrounded with flowers around your head. It should be more specific. But let me whisk you, if I may, for a moment, if I dare, back magically, if I must, to the 1970s. Yeah, sure. Milk was 4 cents a gallon. Gas was 30 cents a gallon. Canola oil was 15 cents a gallon. I was really up on what liquids cost in the 70s. And television was sweeping the nation like a half-asleep janitor. And among my favorite shows was Sanford and Son. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Sanford and Son. They really, as a suburban white kid living in Stamford, Connecticut, I felt that Sanford and Son really captured my life experience. And I felt exactly like a 78-year-old man in Watts who had a junk dealership with his son, and no one ever talked about what happened to their mom. That was me, like in second grade. It was exactly. But among my favorite episodes, Fred and Lamont are escaping through a vent at some party, and Lamont, they had to because of some hijinks that Fred was part of, and oh no, we better get out of here. We have to go through the vent. And Lamont is opining as they're crawling through the vent how they won't get to have champagne, and Fred mentions his favorite family drink, which is the Sanford celebratory beverage, Shampoo. And Shampoo, for those of you who don't know, is Ripple and ginger ale combined. And we sought to make, the first thing we thought, Chris Barron, John O'Manson, and myself, we were writing for the Dust Great Troubadours album, and the first thing we all thought was what a catchy thing to write a song about. And we tried retrofitting, so, retro creating some Shampoo now, but Ripple was banned along with Quaaludes in the Fuck You Act of 1978. The Congress decided people were having much too fun, so they're like, meh, no more Ripple. And Quaaludes are gone too. No more of those Googars. And that's pretty much what happened. Thank God when we were touring in our van, with our seats that smelled like us, we had grape Dimetap. They missed that one until the meth heads fucked that up for everybody. But grape-flavored Dimetap in the late 80s was just the bomb. You got wasted, and it was like cough syrup, so you could just tell the police officer when he pulled you over that you just had a cold. And, you weren't going to get breathalyzed over some Dimetap. But eventually that went the way of the Quaalude. By the way, if any of you have any Ripple, you are sitting on a gold mine. And if you have any Quaaludes, please see Ben and me after the show. But we did find something that, according to witnesses from the 70s, we actually found some people who actually existed from the 70s and didn't grow after that and just remained people of the 70s. And they said this tasted a lot like Ripple. It was some horrible other malt liquor that we had. And we mixed that with ginger ale, and it was awful. It was really awful. I mean, so I'm leaving this as an extended open invitation to anybody who makes cool drinks, like bartenders, who's looking for a great, that's what this song is about, is the idea of Shampoo, not the actual product of Shampoo. So to us, we think Shampoo should taste something like grape Dimetap, but that's for you to create and us to sing about. So I give you, without further ado, Shampoo. Let's drink some Shampoo, baby, 'cause it's almost free. Shampoo, baby, till dawn. You got no pressing engagements, won't you sit down by me and drink some Shampoo, baby, till the shampoo's gone. I got a Chevy with the soft top down. It's up on blocks, but it still gets around. We made our beds, but I ain't gonna lie. You brought me over like a sweet summer sky. Let's drink some Shampoo, baby, 'cause it's almost free. Shampoo, baby, till dawn. You got no pressing engagements, won't you sit down by me and drink some Shampoo, baby, till the shampoo's gone. Tomorrow, baby, that's a long way away, but it won't get it till we're done with today. I tell you where I wanna be when it's through, getting mixed up, mixing up some Shampoo with you. Let's drink some Shampoo, baby, 'cause it's almost free. Shampoo, baby, till dawn. You got no pressing engagements, won't you sit down by me and drink some Shampoo, baby, till the shampoo's gone. Penny for penny, pound for pound, if you're getting up for getting down. Bottle for bottle, sip by sip, it tastes even better when it's on your lips. If you're getting up or getting down, bottle for bottle, sip by sip, it tastes even better when it's on your lips. Jam wow to the people
now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy, shimmy to the people now. Shimmy to the people now. People now. Shimmy, let's drink some shit, people, baby, 'cause it's almost free. Shit, people, baby, till dawn. You got no pressing engagements, won't you sit down by me and drink some shit, people, baby, till the shit people's gone. And drink some shit, people, baby, till the shit people's gone. And drink some shit, people, baby, till the shit people's gone. Ben Wilson. upon a midnight teary walk with something in my head. I couldn't escape the memory of a phone call and a wagon said. Like a game show contestant with a parting gift, I could not believe my eyes when I saw through the voice of a trusted friend, and he said, humor me and tell me lies. Yes, humor me and tell me lies. And I lied to it, say I don't mind. And as we seek, such shall we find. And when you're feeling open, I'll still be here. But now and at a certain degree of fear of what will be with you and me, I still can't see things hopefully, but yeah. Why you wanna give me a run around? Is it a surefire way to speed things up when all it does is start love me down? That's right, and shake me in my confidence about a great many things. But I've been there, I can see a coward like a nervous magician waiting in the wings of a bad play where the hero's right and nobody thinks or expects too much. Hollywood's calling for the movie rights, singing, hey babe, let's keep in touch. Hey baby, let's keep in touch. But I want more than a touch. I want you to reach me, show me all the things I needed to see. And I never know when things will be back. But your control is cold, but it's yours, what's yours and mine. The fishing's fine and it doesn't have to rhyme, so don't you feel me alive? But yeah, why you wanna give me a run around? Is it a surefire way to speed things up when all it does is slow me down? some news for you. It seems my ship still stands no matter what you drop. But there ain't a whole lot of a lot you can. Well, sure, the banner might be torn and the wind's gotten colder. Perhaps I've grown a little cynical, but I know no matter what the waitress brings, I shall drink it and always be full. Yeah, my cup it shall always be full. I like coffee and I love tea. We can be able to find a pre. I still got the dream that you just can't shake. I love you to the point you can no longer take. Well, alright, okay, so be that way. I hope and pray that there's something left to say. But yeah, why you wanna give me a run around? Is it a surefire way to speed things up when all it does is slow me down? Thank you! Whew. You know, I said this yesterday, and I really mean it. I'd love to go back in time and kick the shit out of young me. Because, you know, I wrote songs with, like, no space for breaths. What the fuck was I thinking? I think I was trying to show off. I was like, look, everybody, look what I can do. And I want to go back in time and go, do you understand you'll be doing it for the next 40 years? And then young me will be like, you're not my father. And then we'd fight. I think I could take young me because I was a lot more obese than I was now. But of course, I'm old now, so it'd be kind of an even matchup. I would love to see it, just if only to go back in time and give myself better, like, fashion advice. Because when you're 400 pounds, nobody cares how you dress. That's what I learned, being 400 pounds. You know, I saw a lot of the old Blues Traveler, you know, the cover art, or no, the posters, you know, you got to do lots of promo shots. And I'm wearing, like, Charlie Brown's shirt. And, like, I'm the lead singer of the band. Like, how come no one in the band, like, Chan was all dressed all sexy, and, like, he was like that Bon Jovi kind of look, you know, it was the late 80s, early 90s. And, you know, Bobby had his kind of thing going on. Brendan had, like, cool rock hair, and I was like that crazy guy that, like, looked like I got out of an asylum, and then they just put a sack around me. And then don't even ask me about the hair, just get a hat for the hair. Man, 25-year-old me could have really, like, done a makeover. It wouldn't have hurt. Wouldn't have hurt. Well, I love you too, but you guys dressed a lot better than I did. So, you know, that's probably why I love you as much as, I don't know why you loved me back then, because I stank to high heaven, and man, that hair, I just don't even know what to tell you. Woo! Well, again, you guys are awfully kind, and your memories are kind. What? I heard harp and challenge.
Talent.
Oh, talent. Oh, yeah, that. Well, yeah, I think we're all talented in our own ways.
Everybody gets a trophy, right, John?
Yeah. I'm a big believer in the participation award.
Let's be honest, John. Some of us gets bigger trophies than other people do.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Some people have larger, junk. No one said life's fair. What I'm saying is everybody has some junk. And using the metaphor of talent for junk, whatever you got makes you happy, right? Did that help, Ben?
Yes. Thank you.
I hope that helped you with your problem.
It did. I feel much better now.
I'm not saying Ben has a small penis, but I sure did allude to it, didn't I?
But then he did.
But then I said I'm not saying that. But that is a really great way to say
I'm not
so.
sure how he went from talent to junk. That's still what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I'm just saying you said bigger trophies. As soon as you're talking a bigger trophy, my favorite term for, having sex with someone is presenting her with an Oscar. Huh? Come on, that's kind of like, that's got a little class to it. But, so, you're talking bigger trophies. Like, what is a trophy, really? Something large you can show off. So, I figured, as goes junk, goes trophies. And the little trophies, those are important. Like, what do you call it? That thing they have in Sweden every year. A Nobel Prize.
It's only like this big. But Nobel, he didn't care. He was a grower, not a shower. You know. Get $1,000. I didn't get $1,000 for the Grammy.
Nope.
No. Here's your trophy. We'll mail it to you in a few weeks. You have to give it back now. What the hell is that? And I'm not saying that I have a huge dong, but the Grammy was just like this. It was kind of average. And I felt, yeah, that's about right. I felt like I deserved an average-sized award. But we all deserve the awards to which please us. If I'm still using the metaphor.
Is there another question on that?
Yeah, let's see what we got for questions.
Yes.
Because, we are sort of warming up to the last song. So, oddly, Sandy LeBow. No, that's you. For the purposes of our discussion tonight, you are now Sandy LeBow. That's just how it is. Yeah, that's how it is. I have always wanted to play harmonica. How did you learn to play? Oh, see, well, there you go. Well, guess what, Sandy? This is for you. I always say it's like life. Sometimes you blow, sometimes you suck. But I'll tell you how I started playing harmonica. My parents got me one for my birthday, and it was right as I was discovering the Blues Brothers. I wanted to be a comedian really badly, but I was just funny enough to make people go, huh, what's he saying? And then, I get to that point where people are like, don't you have a question? I kind of go there. I'm not quite that funny. I'm close enough that I can appreciate comedy, but, God help me if I didn't have a song to go to. But anyway, well, thanks. It's funny because it's true. The thing is, when I got into the Blues Brothers, suddenly I was like, wow, what's this music? And it kind of hit me really fast. I mean, it was like, I don't know, I was 16, 17, and suddenly I started trying to play the harmonica a lot harder, and I got really good at it quick. And I'd taken a lot of other lessons, and the thing about lessons, like with real instruments, like the cello and the piano and the trumpet and all sorts of things, is you have to learn to read music. And being dyslexic, that was always kind of like in the way. And, like, every good bird does fly. Grizzly bears don't fuck around. That's the bass clef. And you had to remember that. And you had to,
Was that what your teacher said? Don't fuck around?
Grizzly bears don't fuck around. And you knew it. So I knew where a G was and be like, okay, that's a G. Meh. Okay, and then there's an A. Meh. And then, or whatever the note was. And so I had my guitar teacher fooled for months. I knew the song was Love Me Tender, so I just played Love Me Tender and figured it out by ear and had him fooled for a long time. And then one day I went, boo, 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 boo. And he's like, where are you reading that rhythm from? And I was like, reading? And then he threw me out. And I thought, what a moron, because if you got a kid who's learning by ear, you should try and harness that. But, again, this leads into my cynicism about teaching in school and stuff like that, which I'm trying not to cultivate because I have a kid, so none of that happened. But anyway, so the great thing about the harmonica is that you can't see the notes you're supposed to play. There's impossible. Like, it gives you little cue cards with the little numbers, 1, 2, and like arrows to inhale or exhale. But God help you if you can read them. So the great thing is that just by ear you can pick out a lot of tunes. And within a day I was playing Oh Susanna, and the Marine, da 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 da, all that stuff. And it took me a few months, and I was playing some of the Blues Brothers stuff, and I found out that's not the Blues Brothers. That's Elmore James, that's, Howling Wolf, that's Muddy Waters. And I started having this huge, incredible revelation. And all of this led me to Jimi Hendrix. And when I heard Jimi Hendrix play, that's when I knew I wasn't that funny. I didn't think it was that funny anymore when I heard Jimi Hendrix. And from Hendrix, I was getting into the high school band now because they heard me playing the harmonica, and they had me playing trumpet, but then I luckily had a harmonica when they were going around the room for solos for She Blinded Me with Science. And luckily I had the right key, and next thing I know, I'm in the first string band, and even though I haven't done any schoolwork, I'm passing school now. And suddenly everyone knows who I am, and it kind of just started from there, from high school. And so, you know, I mean, I got to give them a lot of appreciation, and I do, but it was total fluke luck that I had teachers that could hear me playing by ear, because I've had teachers who didn't think that was an asset. And, you know, if I really stop and think about it, I would probably shit myself for how lucky I've been. So, you know, it was the path of least resistance, but the fact that the harmonica was a path at all was really, really unlikely. So I just kept giving it hell, and I was just trying to rip off guitar players and sax players. Occasionally a keyboard player or two, but, you know. So I hope that answers the questions. That's the last question I got. This last little clump of songs is going to start off with this song, which is about a time a girl punched me square in the face. Oh, excuse me. I'll tell you. Let me towel off from the, just poured water all over myself. Okay, so I was with this, this girl I was seeing, 10, 12 years, 22 years ago. Yeah, fuck of a long time ago. Yeah, 30 years. Yeah, so we just finished doing something rather intimate, and we were still in the coital embrace, if you will. And she said something very sweet, which is what girls do at a time like that. And me being a boy at a time like that, decided that the kindest thing to do was to give her factual information. I don't know why boys think that's the best gesture, but, you know, then she asked me a question as I was explaining who the fuck I thought I was, without even another thought, just bam, this right cross. And I mean, she was from Italy, so she really knew how to throw a right cross. And it connected beautifully, and you know, blood is gushing out of my nose. And I grabbed her to pull her close so she wouldn't hit me anymore. And I sent her upstairs, and I waited downstairs. And this is about the long, uncomfortable ride to the train the next day. And yeah, and we were in North Carolina. Her name was Carolina, and like Carolina. We were in Carolina, and Chan was coming up with this incredible riff. And what Chan was great at doing was coming up with a riff and then forgetting what he did, because he's just noodling. But we happened to be recording the Roseanne theme, I think it was. And we were going to miss our flight, so it kind of had a dual meaning. But I made it about a train, because that was bluesier. And I made it Carolina instead of Carolina, because, you know, who the hell. And that's what we did. So that became this song. And on the upside, she and I are very good friends now to this day. I mean, I understand why she punched me. It's kind of dumb, but yeah, I get it. So without further ado, I want to thank you guys for having us out. I like to pause on an awkward... And we really had we had a lot of fun tonight. And that's Ben Wilson, by the way.
Thanks, everybody.
So without further ado, Carolina Blue.
Train at sunrise, I'm gonna have to run around like said I'm trying to make a train at sunrise, gonna have to run around like said I'm tagging with my Carolina, you know the girl kept me up all night. And when my Carolina throw down, you know the girl knows I'm mine. But don't think we're gonna make it, it's nothing more than anyone can do. But don't think we're gonna make it, there's nothing more than anyone could say. Said I almost got the feeling train man to where to get the pain. No way, that's what I say. Promise, I'm gonna try and go on back to Bay. I said that train may kept his promise. I'm gonna try and go on back to Bay. Said I can't sleep anyway. Think about what my Carolina said. You know my Carolina running like a freight train through my head. That's what I see. Doesn't matter what I say, as long as I say with inflation that makes you feel it I'm there. To me, not truth, but that's reflection. But I've done nothing so far. Now to keep it up no longer today. and it don't matter who you are. If I'm doing my job, it's yours all I bring, because the hope brings you back. I ain't telling you no lie. The hope brings you back. All that you can rely. There is something amiss. I am being insincere. If that don't mean any of this, still my confession draws you near to confuse the issue or further. Confusing is from long ago. No matter how much Pete I love. When made the pair refuse to grow, it's that love that brings you back. Brings you back. Oh, now you can't rely. Sing it in, if you win, it in, rambling. Make a spin move or else you win. And then begin to see what you're doing to me. This symphony is now for free. So busy it's killing me. So desperately I'll sing to the of love. Sure, but that's already dedicated to itself. And I can keep the feeling on the shelf. I've tried, but no, in fact I lied. Could be financial suicide, but I got too much pride inside to hide a slide. I'll do it out inside and let it run until I've died. And only then shall I bide this tide and catch your little tunes. I've hit 3-minute ditties. I wanna march your balloons. I wanna fall out of the cities to the ground. I'm found out when I'm at red unless I pray. Then hey, I will go on OD. Hear what I say. I'm a better pray. That's really all this was. When I'm feeling stuck in need of buzz, I don't really love because love brings you back. I'm telling you no lie. Now you can rely. Thank you very much. Good night, we had a ball. Woo. Thank you.
You guys are absolutely fucking awesome. You know that? Thank you so much. Man, that last one is a ball buster. Always has been. Yeah, right. Why don't I? Because it's too late now. You know, the jumps are set. I have to do the Evel Knievel thing through it. You know, it'd be kind of lame now if you put pauses now. Suck it in, suck it in, suck it in. If you're rented dinner, handle it, make it desperate move, or else you know. It's like at the time you're singing is when all of your bodily functions want to come and like do stuff. Like, now I want to sneeze. And it's like, don't think of sneezing, don't think of sneezing. Oh, you want to sneeze? You're going to mess up that note. This is what goes on in your head. And to this day, I will always have an auditory hallucination. Like, I'll be worried about singing sharp or flat, like people who sing should. And you'll hear someone go, oh, he missed that one. And it's not true. It doesn't really happen because then I actually fucked up and heard somebody actually heckle me, and it's such a different sound. Like, oh, and then like the moment goes by, you fuck up and on you go. But in my head, it's like, oh, he blew that note. And it's, how am I hearing that? You know, it's crazy. This is part of the mania of what it takes to sing. I just wanted to share that with you for a second. And it's crazier up here in the mountains, like I said. You know, I hate to beat that dead horse. That is sort of a, what is that? That's bestiality and necrophilia combined.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, it's, hey, I didn't make up that joke. Woody Allen made up that joke. It's a very wholesome joke. Woody Allen made it.
Yes.
I mean, if Woody Allen made it, you know it passes the muster of, what? Oh, we're not doing Woody Allen jokes anymore.
Apparently not.
Wow.
Moving away from Woody Allen.
Ethan Allen. Yeah, that guy's an asshole. Yeah, what about that guy?
Furniture maker?
Your furniture? Yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to go to a different Allen.
Yeah, just lighten things up a little?
Yeah, lighten things up. Well, you know, lighten this. I've got a little story to tell you about this last song here, if you want to hear that. It was in the middle of a funeral. I broke in and started streaking, and then I rubbed my genitals on somebody's grandmother, I think. I don't know who it was. I just barged in there. And I poured gasoline on the body and threatened to light the match, but they gave me a Shasta, so I left. You know, that entire story was made up, and none of that happened. But I was on Jam Cruise on a lot of mushrooms and went and hung out with an entire boat full of people and wrote this song because they were so kind, like you guys are. And it's hard to deal with all of that being, you know, all of that kindness all at once, especially when you're tripping balls. And so, you know, I excavated my way back to my stateroom and I penned this little ditty. And when I woke up the next morning, it still seemed to be good. So I started doing it. And this is on our last Blues Traveler album. This is called Ode from the Aspect. And let me get a drink of water before we start this because, yeah, this one's, it's not Hook, but it's No Day at the Beach. And this is really dedicated to all of you. And it's about you. So. A chance again to diatribe. You'll go along if you've imbibed my mannered tones of dire cause. And if something gets translated lost, again I seek to hide the same, as though we've never stopped our game. And all the tidings I could bring have never really changed a thing. Dependent on each other, we kept infinitely you and me. That never really set us free. Or too lonely is the place we be. But for all I've ever tried to tell you, I just couldn't seem to say how much I care. And speaking as the aspect that befell, you've come to meet my universe out there. For all the right or wrong I'd done, I had to share it with someone. The true, the lie, the in-between, their implications, what they mean. A trophy tale, a troubled turn. Within my heart they'd only burn till the echoes on the acetate reveal what we can all relate, and freely we can share our pain and know that we are not insane, or at least a frenzy we can know. It's enough for me, I'm not alone.
But for all I've ever tried to tell you, I just couldn't seem to say how much I care. And speaking of the aspect that befell you, you've come to me in my universe out there. I stumble to the floor and only then see that I'm climbing. I can fall right up a staircase just as easily as down. 'Cause hope can flip the building on its head, and in the timing needs a hand, or else it lands within the sand without a sound. A chance again to double down, perhaps a way of standing ground for every sin that took a toll, for every rescue of my soul. Each choice I made to turn to you, a thing I had to learn to do. So grateful I could see that through, almost as if you always knew. I choose again to share anew, as if compulsively on cue. More karma for we happy few, whose destinies the devils do. And yet I'm thanking God for you. But for all I ever tried to tell you, I just couldn't seem to say how much I care. Speaking as the aspect that befell you, you've come to me in my universe out there. Searching for the dawn until it's we who are both shining. Thank you. Thank you. Ben Wilson.